So 100 days is about 14 weeks and 2 days. I've completed 8 already. So the next 4 weeks, which is from week 9 all the way to 12, I'll be focusing on my mental health. So there is no magic button as such which I can press and revive my life. The idea is really to understand what goes on and develop some healthy habits which is going to reverse my life after the 100 days. So I carry on doing these great things in my life to achieve what I want to achieve. So obviously what I'm going to do is, when I look closely, by leaving sugar, meat, alcohol and smoking, what happens in my life, I can then replace some of those bad habits with good habits. And after the end 100 days, my idea is to carry on with these good habits and see those slowly, ripening fruits in my life, which is going to take some time to sow. I mean, I'm sowing the seeds at the moment. And in a couple of years from now, I'm going to reap the benefits. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Challlange. This channel is specifically created just to share my life journey, and maybe if I could help anybody along the way, which obviously are, facing the problems with their physical health, financial, mental or spiritual health. So really, apart from this, I do run a successful business called Made to Measure. So if you want to really go to madetomeasure.co.uk, you will see what we do. Essentially, we specialize in, home improvements and fitted furniture. So when I say home improvements, we do extensions, loft conversions, home refurbs, side extensions. When it comes to fitted furniture, we do, like kitchens, fitted wardrobes, understay units, any kind of really fitted furniture within a house. So that's about that. Apart from this, I do run a small IT company, which is run remotely. It's called itworld.london. What it does is it really helps customers to utilize their digital presence to maximize their sales. So we help customers in either, obviously, it depends what they're struggling with. It could be search engine optimization or, Google My Business listings, and obviously having their online presence and making sure they're converting the leads and really helping them with the CRM, which could also be a very good tool for businesses who really need help. So that's about this, and stay tuned for the rest of the video. So let's talk about some body vitals. So let's look at the screen. My blood glucose level is at 5.4. So if you look at it, I started with 6.6 or 6.4 and now I've come down to 5.4. Bear in mind, 5.4 is a very safe zone because anything above 5.6 is pre-diabetic, so which is good, healthy, really happy. My blood pressure, as you can look, it's at today it's at 125/75. Well, the diastolic below 80 is amazing. The systolic should be ideally below 120, so I'm about 5 knots more. But still, if you compare this to what I started with, I think I started with 143/85. If I look at the first one, so let's have a look as when I started. This is probably not the one. The other way to find out is, let's look at the screen here. So the other way to find out is, so it's 142/83 is what I started with, which is amazing. Now the body weight is a bit of a funny one really, because I started with 83.9 and now I'm 79.6. The past couple of weeks I increased. Interesting. What happened was really amazing. I basically started going down the hill of my weight when I left sugar, all of these 4 things. But then after a while, I had maybe like a relapse where I was basing my diet automatically more on fat-based stuff, not realizing it. And my body started to increase. So obviously then I realized it, and then I've stopped, or maybe mindful eating, and stayed away from fat as much as possible. So again, I'm back on the track of losing the weight. So that's another one. But in total, I've lost more or less like almost 5 kilograms of weight in the 8 weeks, which is not bad at all. Other things like my heart rate is it's good. It was a little bit higher, but it's good. I'm happy with that. And in general, see what I'm not focusing to be absolutely slim by the end of 100 days. That was not the idea. This is not a weight loss video. It is a video about my personal journey of cutting the bad habits and replacing it with good ones. And the reason it's 100 days is that's a good amount of time for me to do a positive change in my life. So not for these 100 days. After the 100 days, how I live my life is important. So this is why I'm not going guns blazing, and I'm not going like, oh, I really want to achieve this, because I want to sustain this, not achieve it. And I'm intentionally not exercising either. Obviously, exercise does add on to a weight loss. So it's not a weight loss video as such. It's all about your body vitals and leaving the bad things which should not be a part, at least, of my life. But yeah, that's all about it. So over the next 4 weeks, I'll be focusing on my mental health. Now, the week one, which is the week now, I'll be looking to witness and understand the mental issues I'm going through. The next couple of weeks, I'll be trying different things to see how I can calm myself down and address those issues. And the fourth week, which is the last week, the mental health, I'll be looking to automate things. So putting habits in place, so which can help me carry on through my lifetime, really. Now, if I, look at this situation, in my case, I think my mental health largely also varies because of my physical health. I mean, I'm not in a great physical health, and my eating patterns, what I put in my body, and my financial situation. So obviously being in debt really doesn't help. So these are some of the areas which are absolutely affecting my mental health. So it's not going to be a quick switch, which I can just use it and then everything is amazing. So obviously I need to take those steps, slowly improve my physical health, my financial health, which will then give me the absolutely needed amazing health benefits on my mental level. At present, there's a variety of issues I'm dealing with on a mental level. Like some of these issues are, I feel that just too many thoughts in a day, mood swings, and then there are series of depression and anxiety. I don't actually know what depression, anxiety, stress and all that really means, because I haven't really done any homework on it. I'm just addressing it on my basic level. So what my brain understands is, if mood swings or periods of anxiety or depression or stress really are when you're too attached to pretty much everything, and most essentially, I think in my case, too attached to my thoughts. And also, I actually have a roller coaster with them. I mean, sometimes I wonder, I could probably think 10 to 15 different things in a minute. I don't know whether it applies to everybody else, but it certainly applies to me. So really, I want to address these issues. I may not be able to sort them out straight away these 100 days. They're just too small of a window. But what I'm trying to do is at least acknowledge them and really find out a way to deal with them on a lifetime basis. And of course, if I could help anybody across in my journey, which is the whole idea of this video, I'll be amazed. The other problem which I've noticed is, I think a lot of the people don't really discuss mental health. They think it's normal. It's not. And most of it's just drama of your brain. Most of it. Because let's say your brain or my brain usually thinks about the past, drama, finished, gone, nothing to do about it. Future, just drama again, because most of the things you think about you're going to accomplish, you don't accomplish it anyway. And it's more like hallucination or imagination when you think about your future. It may or may not happen, but what's important is present. So obviously there's books and books about it, but this is what I'm... The other thing I've realized is, in my life, there are some deeply, deeply buried pains and emotions, which sometimes surface and they go back down. These deep pains could be anxiety, or maybe they're bringing anxiety. They could be some sort of regret. I don't know. I mean, it's complex stuff, really. It's complex stuff. And I really want to get into my life to understand what these deep-rooted fears or anxieties or different emotions are. So the key habit I'll be introducing in the next 4 weeks will be meditation. Now, while I will try meditation, it's a bit of a funny one, really, because there's so much stuff out there on the internet about meditation. But this is what I'm going to do. I've read a bit about it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be focusing on my breath and also witnessing the thoughts as they come in and go out. Not do anything. Really, just obviously look at my thoughts while coming in and out and just witnessing them and not really react whether they're good, bad, or ugly. And just go back to my breath. Now, there are different ways I could do with breath. One way is I'm just gonna really focus on my breath and then just literally focus on the air getting in and out of my lungs and just try and focus it back again. If I see a thought, just acknowledge it and go back to my breath. That's one way. Second way I could do is count my breath. So I could just do 1 to 10, and if I lose focus, go back to starting 1 to 10 again. And I should do sets of 10 for 100. I mean, these are some of the thoughts. The third way I could be focusing is maybe focusing on a particular place in my body. It could be what I read was somewhere between the eyes, or it could be just focusing how my body is. It's warm or cold, or just trying to really observe my body and let the thoughts come in. Or the fourth way is really random. Just sit with myself and observe my thoughts. Just keep observing them, but try and go back away from the thoughts rather than flowing in. Very much like if you see a little river and if you throw a little stone, it creates a particular pattern and then it goes calm again. So again, look at the thought, observe it, and then try and go back to normal as to myself. And yeah, so these are some of the things. I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I'm going to do and try and get that as a habit. Maybe 10 minutes in the morning and maybe 10 minutes in the evening. I'm going to give it a shot for twice a day. Probably not the yoga, just this, and we'll see how it goes. So let's see how this new habit of meditation fits into my life and see how it really improves my life. So stay tuned with me and I'll see you in the next one.